put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring the in the.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Arizona Cardinals. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. And how about that for some fireworks to start this one?
And the fireworks turned out to be for the kicking team, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, go down there, make a play, knock it free, and end up with the football. And for the team who's supposed to have the ball, now their defense has to run out on the field so they can slow things down a bit.
A quick scramble for the helmets, and now we switch sides. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Here's Fields. And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the draw, this is Campbell. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down. Well, this defense for the Bears, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to get the football here at their own 23. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. That's complete to Mooney. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and He's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Off play action, Fields. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll run up the middle with Campbell. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Ramsey trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker, and the Bears will take over possession here up at the 44.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Fields throw here taken in by Gesicki. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game, you know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, It is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Play action. It's Fields. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. So his struggles just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled. They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover. But I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on first down.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. This is caught. Touchdown, Bears! Darnell Mooney with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Ramsey. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
Ready, set,
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They'll look to throw again. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 42. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Catch made here by Campbell. No gain on the play. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
18 Rattler.
Back to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
18, Pioneer.
To throw on third down. Ramsey, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's going to be tackled inside his 10-yard line. You may hear a few words from his head coach on that decision. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
And that's caught inside the 35.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. Fields going to get this one out on the perimeter. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 15-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. From 13 yards out. And the Bears have got it on cruise control. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll hand this to Campbell, running right. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it, try and keep the defense honest.
You mean also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner, and that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
Taking it about the 16. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he comes back with one complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
To throw is Fields.
On the right side, open is Gesicki. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground. Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
On 1st down, Fields.
And he'll just get rid of it.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here's Fields.
Looking left side, and it's complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half.
A final shot before the break. Fields.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30. 10. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields rolling to his right. They'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
One play action. Fields. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Fields.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
A play fake. Now Fields to throw.
Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Bird. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Mike Gesicki, a 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
On 1st down, Ramsey.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
19 tight, 19 tight.
Back to throw. Ramsey. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And now here's another interception. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick-6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because his offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably go.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker.
And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. The disaster there, I mean, you saw it coming. The pressure gets knocked down, the interception.
Sometimes the best throw you make is the one you
don't make.
Exactly. Take care of the football. He'll also learn how to shrug his shoulders, take the proper slide steps to alleviate some of the pressure. But occasionally, like the one we just saw, sometimes just hold on to the football and take the hit.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Fields.
Flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and trying not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
On 2nd and 10,
Fields.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
And that's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
On the right hash. Officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely.
And now here is another interception. And the Bears are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
23 yards, the final tally. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 34-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Now a throw here to his running back, and he'll be brought down at the 27. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do?
Fields hit, and the ball is loose. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Fields now to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. Touchdown! Mike Gesicki. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bears get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Okay, ready?
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Throwing on first down. Ramsey going deep for Hopkins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Bears.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Following the fumble recovery, Fields.
This will go to Henry out wide. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Looking left sideline, it's complete.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And able to return this one all the way out to the other side of the field across the 50.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
On 1st and 10, Ramsey. Caught left side, Hopkins. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, it would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Ramsey.
To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sound.
And now here is another interception. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this run of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. And my goodness, another interception. Dante Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there, and gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't, and also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing. That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now it's Fields.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just got to give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
On 2nd and 7, Fields. And it's caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring,
Is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Looking to throw on second down. Ramsey. And now here is another interception. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Back to the air on second down. Ramsey. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Point after here coming up. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because.
He's got a man complete. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining.
A gain of 34 yards. First down, Bears.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.